Welcome to Bedtime Horror, your portal to scary stories. This happened when I worked as a DoorDash driver. It was a slow night. You know, one of those nights when it seems like everyone's either full or fasting. My phone pinged with a new order, and I thought, finally, some action. It had been a slow night with too few deliveries. So there I am, driving through the empty roads, when the app spits out this bizarre delivery request. The drop-off point. Way out in the middle of nowhere, deep in this dark forest. I'm thinking, who the heck orders takeout from a forest? But, hold up, they promised a fat tip, enough to make it worth my while. But I need the money, so I think, let's do this. I pull up to the edge of the trees, the rain is pounding against my windshield, and the wind howling. Now, imagine me, standing there in the dark, holding a bag of someone's dinner, contemplating whether I should walk into this dark forest. After a moment of debating, I figure, why not? I grab the food bag, half expecting a raccoon or something to jump me. I follow this narrow, muddy path into the woods. GPS is acting like it's on a coffee buzz, giving directions as clear as mud. Before I know it, I'm knee-deep in trees, struggling through the mud, and the storm's not making things easier. The delivery spot is supposed to be close, but the forest has other plans. I'm stomping around, and my shoes are a mess, and I feel my frustration is growing. The delivery point's playing hide and seek, and this weird feeling creeps in, like I'm being watched. Now, I don't usually buy into spooky stuff, but this forest had a vibe. As I'm marching along, then the app suddenly says, "You're here." I look around, but it's just pitch black. Out of nowhere, this wild-looking guy pops up, mumbling to himself like he's having a conversation with a ghost. He blocks my way, giving me the shivers, and asks if I'm lost. I try to explain, but then he spots the food and loses it. I get scared and start running. I can hear his crazy laughter behind me. Suddenly I hear some animal noises, rustling and growling. I don't stick around to find out if it's Yogi the bear or his buddies. I just run faster. Eventually, I see a bit of an open space with my car lights way off. I'm sprinting for dear life, imagining all sorts of horror movie scenes in my head. Finally, I hear my own breath and the thud of my shoes on solid ground. I see my car and jump in, just as the rain starts coming down even harder. So, there I am, catching my breath inside the car, but when I look up, guess who's there? Yep, the wild dude, and he is still laughing. And he's not just standing there this time, he's coming my way. My heart's pounding louder than the rain, and I'm thinking, come on, car, don't fail me now. I hit the gas, and the tires squeal as I drive out of there. Through the rearview mirror can I see the wild dude, now running after the car like a man possessed. I'm weaving through those dark, twisty forest paths, praying I don't hit a tree or something. Finally, after what feels like forever, I spot a clearing up ahead. I push the car harder, and the wild dude is getting farther away. He stops chasing, and I see him standing in the clearing. I'm shaking, but hey, I've got a crazy story to tell now. DoorDash adventures, right? Who knew delivering food could be this crazy? This happened many years ago when I worked as a DoorDash driver. The memories are still vivid, like it was just yesterday. It all started with a routine order, a family wanting their dinner delivered. I grabbed the food and jumped into my car, and headed to their place. The family was kind, even polite. They greeted me with a smile, took the food, and handed me a good tip, the kind of pleasant interaction that made the job a bit brighter. Little did I know that the smooth ride was about to hit a major bump. After that cheerful delivery, another order popped up on my screen. This time, it was from a guy named Sam. He had a peculiar request: deliver the food to an address not found on any maps, claiming he was homeless. My instincts said it was fishy, but there was something in Sam's voice that made me want to help. Despite the nagging concerns, I decided to go through with the delivery. As I drove towards the mysterious address, my phone, reliable up to that point, just lost the service. Now that I have to navigating through unfamiliar roads, with no GPS, this did not feel good. Each turn felt like a shot in the dark, a guessing game with potentially high stakes. The surroundings turned unfamiliar, and doubts crept in. But finally, after what felt like an eternity, I found the place. It was a relief, and I did see a dark figure standing in the street. I assuming it's Sam, and drive up to him. I asked if it was Sam, and he nodded. I handed him the food, expecting gratitude. But that's when things went crazy. The guy, wearing sunglasses even though it was getting dark, looked at the food and got angry. Without a warning, he latched onto my car door handle, pulling and tugging like a madman. In the dim light, I saw his face contort into pure anger, and then, out of nowhere, he pulled out a stick and started whacking my car. It was chaos. I panicked, and all I could think about was getting out of there. I tried to start the engine, but it wouldn't start. I felt that panic coming. I have to get away from this crazy guy. But then, the engine roared to life after a couple of nerve-wracking attempts. I hit the gas. The tires were screeching as I accelerated away from the crazy guy. I look in the rearview mirror and see the crazy guy throwing the food in the ground. As I sped away, the adrenaline was pumping. I reached for my phone to report the whole wild incident to DoorDash. When I got home that night, the encounter replayed in my mind. I felt uneasy, the fear from earlier refusing to fade. Every sound outside seemed suspicious, making it hard to sleep. And the events of that night left me questioning my sense of security. Thanks for watching, and I hope this story was to your liking.